what time it is, man. Make sure you tune in every Monday and every Friday at 9 p.m. Teed Up with T. Lynn, you understand? It's going to be live on the gram, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff, man. If you're an artist, you need to book your slots. Yes, sir. Go ahead and get your flyers made. You need mixtape covers. You need promo. You need anything. Hey, you need to see Teed Up with T. Lynn, man. It's going to get real crazy this year. You already know that new podcast going all the way up. And guess who's sponsoring the first one? Yep, that's right. DJ Rio and Rich Talk. Hey, man, if you ain't know, now you know. Teed Up with T. Lynn. Every Monday, every Friday, 9 p.m. New heat, new bangers, new artists, new interviews. Hey. We doing a new thing, baby. Out here.
We live?
Yes, we're live. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Teed Up with T. Lynn, and tonight we have Travis Ellison on deck here, and he's getting ready to tell us about him. But before I get into that, make sure you go and subscribe to my YouTube channel at T Lynn TV, unapologetically me. And make sure you stay on our lives every week. Make sure you share them. Make sure you hit the like button, of course, get that YouTube algorithm, whatever it's called, going. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this interview. Travis Ellison, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm called Marshall, Florida, born and raised.
We have a little bit of a connection. We've got a little bit of a technical issue. Can you get closer to your phone? We can hear you. It's mumbly.
Oh, okay. Is it better now?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I was saying I got 2 singles out. I'm motivated and ain't no competition. And besides from that, I have my magazine, which is called Music Culture Magazine. It's for all fields of entertainment.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
All right. How many years have you been in the music industry?
I started rapping when I was 12. But as far as the industry, that didn't really happen till around 2013 when I started getting known to the public and putting out music and videos and all that.
Okay. Have you had any controversial issues being in the music industry?
Well, not to say no names, but I have came across a few people that wasn't legit about what they was doing. And I got taken advantage of, got robbed. Money was taken. Paying for things that I never got and everything, and it was a lesson learned.
Exactly. And that
You know,
happens. I've had some people, that I've met along the way that wasn't very good with their morals and the ethics. I try to strive to make
right,
sure everybody knows that my morals and ethics is on point.
right.
Um, with COVID-19 going on, do you see that there's different issues arising for artists?
Yeah. You know, I think that one of the biggest things is not being able to do shows the way you want to and touring. Because of that. So that's one of the biggest problems that I've seen. You know,
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree. I think that um, it's been difficult for artists because this is new territory, and not being able to get your face out there physically, you've got to lead and do things like I'm doing right here. This is for you right here, right now, in this day and time. Like this is for artists right now. So I would say that it's been very difficult.
right.
Um, what's your plans after COVID?
Well, my plans is basically continue to do what I'm already doing, the magazine, the music, and interviews and things like that, and just come up with new ideas and bring them forth.
Hmm.
So that's my plan.
Sounds sounds reasonable. Tell me a little bit about your magazine.
Well, my magazine, I've been doing it. I've been doing it for a year now, and even though it's called Music Culture, but it's for all fields of entertainment. Whether you do music, model, whether you write books, it don't matter. It's for all that. And it's also a way for me to kind of help other independent artists, put them, feature them in a magazine or something like that. Because some other bigger magazine like Double XL and all them, not knocking them, but when it comes to independent artists, they're gonna charge a huge fee. You know
And that's true.
that much I do know. But with mine,
Do
since
you go ahead?
I'm more independent and I haven't been out that long and still building. I don't have no huge fee, and I'm more lenient with it because I'm an
Um,
independent artist myself.
what's the up and coming? Are you like monthly or are you quarterly?
Every monthly.
Monthly. Okay. Well, let the artist know how much they can get and how much of a page and whatnot. Let them know the significance of it.
Well, the way it works is for artists, for a two-page feature, along with two original beats in 4 days of promo, two songs of choice, is 50. And for the front cover, plus the two-page feature and two original beats and 4 days of promo of the music would be 100. And that's it.
Sounds
You know,
reasonable. What's all your social media links?
on Facebook, Travis Ellison, Twitter, Travis Ellison, and Instagram, Travis Ellison. Now my music like on SoundCloud is T.Ellis, on YouTube T.Ellis, and Ellis TV Network. You can find my music on there too.
Okay. What's been your inspiration for your music journey?
Well, when it comes to music, that's just something that's always been in my heart, like having a love for music, passion for music. So that's from the heart, and no matter what else I'm doing or gonna do, I'm always gonna come back to the music because that's where I really started at. You know,
If you could give a piece of advice to an artist that's launching their career today, with the mindset that COVID is happening and the pandemic's going on, what piece of advice would you give them?
well, number one, don't stop what you're doing. just try to be find different creative ways to do what you've been doing. And as far as shows or whatever, you take it back to the old school. Um, do like a house party, like maybe, possibly a block party, and you can perform like that. Or, go find like certain buildings and rent it and put on a show that way. It's, just different ways to go about doing it.
Where are you located?
I'm in right. I'm in Gainesville, Florida. That's North Florida or South Florida.
Okay.
You know,
Um, I've lived a little bit of everywhere. I lived in Daytona at one point, and I've lived in Iowa and New York, Georgia, Colorado. I have been all over the place. North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina. I'm from all over the
right.
place, so that's how I've gained so many networking friends, within the industry and everything. Um,
Mm.
in with the magazine, um, what is your plan for 3 months, 3 years, and 3 decades?
Um, well, to be honest, I don't look at the numbers like that, but my general plan is what we getting ready to do next is to get into retail. Get into retail like maybe like local gas stations, Walmart, maybe even Target. Get into retail.
Okay.
Bring it more to the bring it more to the forefront. And in the next 2 or 3 years, that's where we should be, or less than 2 years. So
Okay.
that's how I look at it.
All right. And with your music career, what do you see in 3 months, 3 years, and 3 decades?
Well, over time, well, basically just continue doing what I'm doing, like I said, because I'm independent. I'm basically under my own label, which is called Ellis Entertainment. So I'm not signed to nobody. I'm basically signed to myself. So to continue to put out more good music, and reach more people. So that's what it
Um,
is on the music end.
sounds like a it sounds like a plan there.
You know,
In what category would you hold your music? I know that rap is a general term, or hip hop is a general term, and then trap is a general term. What term area would you put yourself in?
music wise,
Yes.
universal music. And what I mean by that is something everybody can listen to and enjoy. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like that. But at the same time,
What's your
keep it true to myself.
What's your favorite song that you've done?
Well, right now it has to be my new song. I'm motivated.
Oh my god, I
You
like
know,
that. I went to listen to it. I think a couple of days ago. I apologize. It's been the weekends are a little bit crazy for me. I'm building a whole tiny house by myself, so I be working so hard on the weekends, and then every other day I'm chasing chickens. So um, I'm not your normal person in the industry. I'm very multi talented.
right?
um, if if you could tell the old you a piece of advice about this music industry, what would that be?
Um, Remain focused, continue to make more connections. Um, have your trust in the right people, weed out the wrong. Because what I learned in this industry, there's a lot of fakes and less real.
It's true.
That's one of the things that I learned.
I
You
agree
know,
with that because,
and the fakes they make it more harder for the ones that's solid, legit, and real.
and I agree with
Everybody,
that.
because everybody ain't who they said he is. That's what I learned.
Yeah. And it's a sad part of the industry. It's a dog eat dog industry. It really is. And I've been chewed up, but I've never been spit out because I'm still here. So it don't matter. You can chew me up if you want to. Take a couple little bites. It's all right. I got enough meat. I'll be fine.
Mhm.
And that's the way a lot of artists has got to start thinking these days. Is yeah, you chew me up, but I'm still bouncing back. And you gotta let go of everything that's happened in the past and just move on and say, okay, well, that was a lesson. I will not do that
Right,
again. A lot of artists forgets paperwork is meant in this game. You have got to get the paperwork. You've got to get the signatures.
right,
Like you've got to get them signatures because a person is so good to their word, but hey, a signature goes to court. A signature
right,
goes to court. And not just do a signature, man, get a notary on that sucker. Like if somebody says they want you to perform somewhere, make sure you get in an agreement. Get that shit
right,
in an agreement. And make sure you get them signed in front of a notary. This is your
right.
career, this is your business. You have got to have the mindset, this is my business and I'm going to run it as is. Your craft is if your craft is amazing, only thing that's keeping you behind is the business part. So you've got to make sure you start leveling up to that area. I'm not talking just to you. I'm saying that in general. But artists just has got to start leveling up because these other people that are around you, they are. They've took this period of epidemic time, epidemic, pandemic time, and they have refocused their life. They've sat down. They've had moments to sit down and really focus on what needs to be done, and that is level up their business
Mhm.
part of their career and get that LLC, get the business license straight. Make sure you're leveled up to where when you go to approach a venue or approach a label or whatever, they gotta see that you've took it legitimately and that you are ready to go. And they want you to come packaged already. So I know I'm going over the boundaries here and just going crazy, but I agree. The signatures are important though, and if I could give any piece of advice to any artists out there, get it in writing. Get it in writing. That's all I can say is get it in writing. Get it in
Right,
writing.
right.
Um, and invest. Okay, there's a lot of artists that do not want to invest themselves. This is a pet
Huh?
peeve. This is a pet peeve of mine. You
Right,
have to you have to invest in yourself. Um, Going on a show like this is an investment in yourself, but I don't ask money from the artist as much as I do from a brand. You know, if they have a brand behind them, then they can invest in it. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't have a brand, on hand of their own, which I believe every artist should have a brand of their own anyway, like a clothing brand coming out, something that's going to identify you in a niche. But I asked them to at least find a sponsor because them finding a sponsor shows me that they're legit and it shows me that they're willing to go to work and promote and to believe in themselves. And I want to work with people like that. And them finding them a sponsor also helps them with networking because
right,
when you get to another level of music industry, even if you start here, there's so many levels. Like when you get to about this level, you're going to start wanting them sponsors yourself. Why not at this level start looking and creating you a list of sponsors?
Right.
And that's the reason why I always say you can find you a sponsor. I can try to find you a sponsor, but it would be great if you were to bring one on, because that way you're going to learn a lesson and you're going to have that name, sketched out for later on. Maybe you need a video sponsored. Maybe they'll sponsor your video. Maybe you need this or that, and maybe they'll sponsor it. It's about networking in this industry, and just like you and I, we networked and we worked out a deal, and we're doing this interview tonight, and that's called that's called networking, and like I said, it's so shady in this industry. When these principles go back to effect for people, the industry is going to be a better place for us all. It really is. If we could just go back to morals and ethics of business and get it in writing, duh, and then build a network, and it's okay to share somebody else's feed. It's okay to pass on a note. It's okay, to do this or that for
Right.
another artist and just move on. Um, but that's what I've learned in this industry, and I've been in it quite a long time. I've been in it for nearly 16 years. It really changed on me probably about, I want to say, 4 years ago. When I met my mentor from I had an interview with him on Friday, and he really showed me a lot of things in the industry. But who couldn't show you a lot of things in the industry if you're a Wu Tang management? Like, I mean, that's hello. Okay, if you didn't know, you know. And that's where I've learned, and sometimes you just gotta have that little bit piece of guidance.
Right.
Um, what is your toughest toughest part of this industry that bothers you the most, other than what we've discussed?
Um. Well, one I would the toughest thing I would say is like I said, certain people not keeping their word on what they say, and just not being real behind their word. So it kind of goes back to that. That's one of the things I don't like to deal with when I come across people like that. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Sometimes we gotta let our third eye see people for what they are, though.
Right.
And I'm a really good judge of character. So, but even if it ain't just being a judge of character, it still looks pretty on in black and white. Write it, write it down.
Right.
Scribble it down, put it on pen and paper,
Right.
and protect yourself and your career. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and give you some shout outs out. Who all you want to shout out?
Okay. Well, I got quite a few. First, I want to give a shout out to a long-term friend of mine, Cliff Murphy, and want to give a shout out to my daughter. Want to give a shout out to the lady I'm in a relationship with, and I want to give a shout out to a person who kind of been, supporting me over the years. I want to give a shout out to Ed Ford and give a shout out to Sid, the CEO, Black Joe, FOB Nation. Give a shout out to my hometown, Alachua, Florida. Give a shout out to Gainesville, Florida. Give a shout out to Florida, period. Give a shout out to myself. Give a shout out to you. Um, give a shout out to the couple artists that I have that I'm working with, Brittany Jules, Shanda, and give a shout out to God. And
There
that
you go.
wraps it up for me.
I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me.
If you know of any artist that wants to interview, tell them to hit me up. My inbox is always open. Or they can go to my website, www.tdepwithtelian.com, and I just got something in my eyeball. Um, anyway, my social medias is I am the T-Lin on Instagram and Twitter, and I am T-Lin on Facebook. I am the T-Lin on Facebook, but hijackers.
Oh, oh,
I am being held. My Facebooks are being held for ransom.
okay.
That's not cool. But anyway, we all gotta deal with some Mickey Mouse bullshit in our lives, don't we?
Well, yeah, you're right. Definitely.
Okay, so if anybody has been watching, please share. Share this live. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, TLNTV, and it says in quotations, unapologetically me. So yeah, that means this doesn't change for nobody. And make sure you go subscribe because my vlogs start next week. I'm gonna have a series of vlogs, and it's gonna be Q&A for a lot of artists. Y'all gotta check it out. Make sure you tune in here every Friday at 9 p.m. And again, thank you again, Travis, for being on here.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me on.
And I want to give a shout out to Max Savage and the Max Savage Show, real quick. He's been in here watching, and I just want to give him a big old shout out. I just saw your messages, your spotlight is down below. See, Mike. Okay, Mike be sharing like crazy because Mike be sharing and caring. So I gotta spotlight him. And again, I'm gonna leave everybody tonight with my outro with Mario Sutton, DJ Rio the DJ. We all call him. Check him out on Instagram. And make sure you go follow me as well. And Travis. Follow Travis. Yeah, follow Travis. And y'all have a good evening, everyone. And
Hey, we doing a new thing, baby. Out here.
everybody have a good night.
All right.